look again at public or large project management tools, and there are literally hundreds of things. Open source projects, there's lots of them you can load on your desktop for project management. Microsoft's project management tool comes to mind. There's these that you can actually work that are online. Like I said, I've just chosen things here to give you kind of an idea of the kinds of public or larger team kinds of project management tools that you can use. Again, you're going to do that larger project management process that we discussed earlier, either through the PMI side of things or the Agile project management side or some other version that you come up with. But it's these tools in the middle we're discussing right now. So let's go look first off at Minimoon. Minimoon is a free to start project management program. It allows you to have a project bulletin. In this case, this is the list of activities going on inside the project. I put together a list of project management milestones, completing the research, rehearsal complete with a misspelling, of course, research complete, and so that's a milestone. One of these, of course, is incorrect, so let's go ahead and delete one of these. So again, as you start to work down the idea of some of these items, rehearsal complete, research complete. This research complete, I wanted to go ahead and delete it. So let's go ahead and delete the item. That milestone item is now gone. And let's go back to our main bulletin list. So I deleted that, so now it's not going to be my project milestones. I only have research complete. So again, milestones are those larger blocks of time. Notice that you can put a date or a time on these. Let's go ahead and expand this. Let's edit this. And notice there's a date. So milestones typically are bound by dates. And so the calendar here, I'm going to choose to have that done by Saturday. Save it. There we go. And then I can drag and drop tasks in here. Well, we don't have any tasks associated with this milestone yet, so let's create a task. And the task here is going to be to Google it. So we're going to Google it, and that's going to be the task. It fits in the same project piece, and there we have it. Google it is a task. We're going to drag that, put it right here into our research complete. Google it's what we're going to do, and of course update the task dates. No, we're not going to do that, but we're done here. So new milestones, new tasks. Here we go. So look at the bulletin. You see what happened. We created this task. We updated that task. We did these other things. So the project management here allows us to track and take care of tasks. Now in the task itself, let's go look at the project tasks. Now look at here. There's a creator and who it's assigned to. So let's go into this Google it task and see what we can do with this. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's in a milestone, but we can now tag it. We can give it a due date. We can add it to our personal calendars in Google. We can make it so it recurs once it's completed. It can have normal or high or low. This is high that we Google it. The status is open or completed or deferred or delayed or deleted. So we're going to keep it as an open item. And who is assigned to. Notice this is where we can start to delegate tasks to specific individuals inside of our team. That's huge, and it's important when you have multiple people working in a team. If there's a project manager, people can assign tasks out. Or if everybody is working on the project together, the list of tasks can be out there, and each individual player can come to the table, grab the tasks that they know that they're good at, and they can go do that. That's what we find in a lot of open source projects, this idea of grabbing tasks and carrying them out ourselves. And also we can attach documents. Notice we can link those to Google Documents, which are collaborative. The other one of the features that was important to me, this idea of a bulletin is nice to kind of see what this task has been through, but the idea of a timesheet. Who's worked on this project for how long? When we start getting into negotiations on projects where we're all going to be producing a product together, if we choose to at some point, how do we pay each other? Well, the person who invests so much time into it would probably be compensated if that's how we choose to negotiate the compensation, the return on investment of our time. Notice is it billable or not? So the billable hours. So you start to have a project management and a way to bill a customer. Say 5 of us jump in and we take on a project for a particular individual, either in the group or out, and we want to work and would be billed based on time. You see now we're billing hours. So this time management piece was important to us in this project, so I wanted to have that in place. So that's why I look at this tool: time management, shared documents, assigning tasks, being able to track and know what's going on. So you start to see where we are. Create a template, you can add members. Templates now are something you can reuse over and over again for future projects. These are fun tools to work with. But this doesn't have a lot of community aspects to it. It doesn't have the ability to, like our Facebook pages, where we can actually have forums and discussions and carry on dialogues, if you will, about our project. So let's go back then and look next at the next project piece we wanted to look at. We were going to look at Mini Moon, which you saw some of the kinds of characteristics that a group or public kind of tracking system will have. By the way, this one isn't really heavy on Gantt charts and a lot of the more nitty-gritty kinds of things that PMI would suggest as you manage or control a project. One of the things that's looked at is Gantt charts and the milestones and how they relate to each other. Remember that critical path dependencies are identified and tracked as part of a PMI type of project management. Well, Redmine is an open source piece of software that I installed on a server that I have, and that server is located in something I call the iLearnit.com. It stands for Integrated Learning Experiences, Activities and Resources Network. Eventually I'd like to have 20,000 people on this network all sharing in their learning experiences. So maybe you'd be one of them, I don't know. But we did start off with a project which was this profitable producers. Inevitable independence is how it used to start off, as it was branded a little differently. And so in this project management, we want you to look at a couple of things. First off, there's a nice overview tab that tells us about the project, who the members of the project are, and some of the latest news about the project. So you start to see already an enhanced communication. Although the interface isn't nearly as pretty, it is enhanced communications because you can post onto this overview and kind of see how many issues you have, what questions, what features the project's going to have, what tasks there are, what's fixed if there's things that are broken. You start to see where there's other kinds of classifications. Activity, let's take a look at the activity on this project. And of course I haven't touched this for some time, so you'll see that there's a little bit of delay in some of the items here. Okay, activity, nothing right now, but notice I can filter the kinds of activity. Notice documents, news, changes, issues, messages, time spent, again time tracking, sub-projects, projects inside of projects. Oh-ho! So roadmap on most projects is that larger vision. Where is it going? What are the things that we're going to be doing? These are features that we were going to include in the product at the time, and these are some of the tasks or products that were going to be created as a part of the larger whole system, if you will, the whole course. And we finished a couple of those, and then we got off and got busy on some other things. The issues, although titled issues, really are broken down into a couple of arenas. Let's go ahead and get that up here and going. Okay, it's loading. The issues are not issues at all, but instead can be such things as tasks. Notice we can view all the issues. We can view a summary. We can look at calendar. We can look at a Gantt chart. What's a Gantt chart? A Gantt chart kind of puts the time frames for each of the items in perspective. And we can go back. Let's go back to February and see what this looks like. So we're going to apply that. And here we go. You start to see how the list shows up and what's dependent on the next one. Let's go back to January and how optimistic we were at that time for a project. Sure enough, boom, 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 going to knock all these things off. And you see each one tells us where we are with that feature, if you will. So the Gantt chart is huge. Issues, let's go ahead and add a new issue in here, and you can see that really they can be tasks. They can be a number of things. So I'm not logged in. That's why I'm not able to create a new one here. If I'm signed in, then I'd be able to see a new one. So anyway, you get the idea with that. And again, if any one of these items come up, you can look at the different variables and pieces that are involved in that, including the idea of priority, status, assigned to, target, version. So you can version control things. You can see how much you're done, the time, estimated time, and the actual time. So this idea of tracking your time, making projections accurately, all are foundation skills for project management. Again, the calendar lets you kind of see things, how they fall out of the calendar, what your features that you're putting on. News, if there's announcements about the project, if there's things in the public, there's marketing pieces that are going out while the project's being created, you can have those. Documentation, capturing images off of whiteboards, capturing screenshots, can all be uploaded into your documents area. A wiki might be the starting place where your training ideas come together. That's right. The collaborative creation process that we've talked about earlier. Some of these kinds of visuals might show up here. Our weekly calls, our game on, our collaborative sessions, all can be spelled out, you see. So these kinds of visuals can show up in your wiki. You have an idea for forums. You can actually have a forum and discuss varying issues about your project at the time. So you can see where you can have a whole huge group, a team of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people working on a project and manage that entire process through a piece of software like this. So that's what we wanted you to see. The uploading of files also, the storing and sharing of files. So this is this project. There are other projects that you can have on here. This particular program allows us to have unlimited projects and unlimited sub-projects and sub-projects to sub-projects. So I could envision that when this learning community or this Profitable Producers grows up to be as large as it might be, we could have hundreds of people working together on projects and all being managed through the flow of a tool like this. Again, there are lots of other tools along this line, but this is the tool that I've chosen because it was free, open source software that I could install on a server that I had. Notice a trend here. I often use free and open source tools to learn what I need to have in a product before I go purchase a product. With all those rich features that we just saw in this project or in this tool, it starts to raise the bar to say, I'm looking for all of these. And then if I go to a product like Minimoon, which has a lot cleaner, nicer interface, can I use this tool or not? Well, it has those basic characteristics I needed in terms of time management. Yes, multiple people can be invited, but if I'm trying to manage multiple projects, I can't do that. If you get to the highest level of Profitable Producers, you might be managing 5, 7, 10 projects all at the same time with 10 or 15, 20 different people. You'd have to be popping between different projects here maybe. But then again, see, if you do the upgrade in this program allows you to have many projects, a lot more storage space, types of projects and types of reporting that you're able to do within those. This backing up projects and being able to export them can be huge. And the price isn't too unreasonable at $50 a month, particularly if you have a larger group playing with this. So you start to see that project management, I want to plant the seeds here early on so that as you're learning to manage your own personal time, and can do in that personal level is a foundation. Have a project that run where you have lots of projects going on and you're working at the public or team and collaborative level. Which method of project management you use is going to matter much. It's going to matter that you have a vision to build and establish projects and your projects forward. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call this one a close here now as we've looked at the tools of project management. And you might start to play with some of these ideas. Again, start simple. Take a simple tool and start to apply the ideas of estimating your projects, estimating your steps, lining out the steps of what you do know, and seeing what you miss. How far off are your estimates? Those foundations skills that you'll need when you start to grow towards larger projects. We're going to come back next and look at the Agile project management method and then wrap this all up. So thank you for your time today.